For the sake of multiplayer here in Destiny, man, I am going to make a video about the top 5 fastest killing primaries. For God's sakes, I'm so sick of fucking matadors.
All time.
Now, before we get started on our video today, guys, let's hit our featured subscriber, Ryan the Temp. And if you don't even know what the fuck I'm referencing, man, you have not lived life. He says, I should be featured because we are the Sunbreaker squad. You damn right we are, man. I've been rocking Sunbreaker here lately, and I gotta say, guys, I am in fucking love. Where has the subclass been this whole time? If you want to be a featured subscriber on my next video, guys, all you have to do is just like this video, hit that subscribe button, and of course, comment down below and let me know why you think you should be featured in the next video. And also, if you would like to include in your comment, I would definitely like to know your favorite primary, because guess what we're talking about today, guys? We are going to be talking about the top 5 fastest killing primaries now here in Destiny. So without further ado, guys, let's hit this shit. At number 5, man, we've got this beauty of a weapon, man, Talak, and weapon that I've actually reviewed before. It is a scout rifle that's exclusive here to the Warlock class, and you have to get rank 5, I think, with the weapon vendor Banshee 44 and do all kinds of other bullshit that I can't remember. But either way it goes, it's essentially just a regular scout rifle, right? I mean, you pick it up, you mess with it, you don't think much, and all of a sudden it goes Super Saiyan when you've got your supercharge. But hey, wait a minute, you don't need to expend your super, because then it just goes back to being another mortal man. So here's the thing, you gotta keep your super, you gotta shoot it. Now, I know the time to kill for this weapon is not exactly the best in terms of scout rifles. You're probably like, well, hell, Jade Rabbit still beats it by 300ths of a fucking second. Well, I know 300ths of a second can make the biggest deal in a fight, but let's talk here. The thing about this weapon that I like so much is the fact that it's so damn easy to land 4 shots. I mean, it has to only be 2 crits, 2 bodies. The thing fires just as fast as a MiTiS fucking multi-tool. You can't tell me you cannot hit 2 crits, 2 body shots to finish people off, man. I can tell you right now, guys, 0.83 seconds for time to kill is plenty fast enough for me. This is a great scout rifle when you do have your supercharge, and definitely one that is probably one of the most dangerous primaries to ever go up against if you're caught off guard. So Parthian Shot was actually a gun I got after a Nightfall. I don't know if I turned in a package or something, but anyways, I didn't know much about it. I saw that it had high impact, but it was in that same range that Spare Change was in. You know, Spare Change was a weapon I've messed around in the past, but it's got terrible recoil direction and terrible stability, so it was never a weapon that I hung with. This thing has nearly 20 more stability than what Spare Change has. So Parthian Shot has already got a leg up, and I got brace framed on mine with Rodeo, guys. This is allowing me simply to go ahead in there into Crucible and 6 crit people to burst essentially at 0.73 seconds, which is pretty fucking fast. If y'all didn't know that, that's actually the fastest out of all the pulse rifles in the whole list. That's faster than Clever, that's faster than Grass. Essentially though, the hard part is actually landing 6 crits. I mean, that's the issue. So unless you've got the stability stats to really boost it up there, and of course, you know, pace your shots and really land those crits after crit, then you can't really take advantage of what it's trying to sit there and give you. And so that's always been the thing that's led me away from this entire archetype. Now, I don't normally use it a bunch. I mainly was using it a lot for this video, but I definitely see the pros about it. Either way it goes, I find the biggest pro about this weapon is simply in situations of team shotting people, man. It does so much damage, even when it's not crits, even when it's just body shot damage. And I found that even in those situations where people are just running away or trying to get into just, you know, team on somebody else, you can just sit there and team up on them, and man, it does some devastating damage. I'd also like to include what exotic piece was going really good with Parthenon shot. I felt like the way I was able to strafe was a little too slow whenever I was aiming down the sights on any of my other subclasses. You probably see that I'm on my gunslinger right now. I felt extremely comfortable rocking out Radiant Dance Machines. Man, I have not used those boots in a while, but I felt like the first thing I felt like whenever I picked a Parthenon shot, I was like, man, I feel like I'm really slow whenever I'm aiming, when I'm ADSing people. And anyways, that seemed to rectify that problem. I highly suggest using those if you're gonna really want to main Parthenon shot. It is a good pulse rifle. It just feels kind of slow and clunky at times, and that will alleviate some of those problems.
When you're waiting for the rain to fall, I will shelter you against it all. Flowers grow from hurricanes, and there is beauty in the pain, and I will be right there beside you. Yeah, I know you're feeling weightless now. Yeah, I know.
Before I introduce this weapon, understand that this list is tiered, okay? The time to kills that I'm laying out for you are 5-4. I mean, they're going essentially from fast to fucking fastest. So that's the way we're rolling through here. And with that being said, you're probably looking at this damn scout rifle wondering why the hell it is even on this list. Okay, there is barrel perks on Bully and Gemini. You can load it out with aggressive ballistics. And essentially, you've got a scout rifle there with a 1 second time to kill. Right? Nothing impressive. Loaded out with aggressive ballistics on guardians that are 5 armor or less, you can essentially kill them within 0.66 seconds. That's extremely deadly, guys. That's faster than anything I've mentioned above. That's faster than Jade Rabbits, Chaos Dogma, all those weapons, man, that have definitely been weapons that people have definitely sought after, and the Scout Rifle. I feel like Bully and Gemini definitely gets overlooked more than it should, especially since it did get the intrinsic perk high caliber rounds this past September. I think it's a wonderful Scout Rifle, guys. The only downside being, of course, if you are banking on that 0.66 time to kill and somebody is rocking 6 armor or more, and then you do get into a situation where you really needed to kill them within that 0.66 seconds, it kind of sucks, I gotta say. But with that being said, man, it's a good weapon. A lot of times you're keeping your distance anyways using a scout rifle, and so I really like the fact that it does such devastating damage at such a good range, and it also can just 3-tap people at its archetype, which is very unusual among all the other scout rifles. If I could marry a weapon in this game, man, it probably wouldn't be Vex, but I could tell you right now, she would make a damn good side hoe, man. Vex Mythic class is and was one of the best weapons in this game in terms of nostalgia. And outside of that, it kind of got nerfed to fuck, man. It's not really everything we want it to be. The fusion bursts are kind of a little RNG-ish. But with that being said, let's talk about time to kills with this thing. So essentially, you've got a gun here that's sitting at a 0.8 second time to kill. And if you know the other weapons that we've been going over, that's nothing really any more special than what we've already talked about. But of course, there is barrel purse. Now the time to kill goes from 0.8 seconds to now 0.64 seconds with 5 crits after you actually buff that impact. Now here's the problem with that. The fusion burst, man, that's what I'm calling it, is a little sporadic. It's spastic as hell. And when you throw that impact on there and you're hurting your stability, it gets even more spazzy. And so the ideal time to kill is great there in theory. Like, yeah, 0.64 seconds, that's wonderful. But in reality, when you're in gunfights and situations, man, it doesn't always pan out. That seems to be an issue with you know, a lot of weapons that I go over. You know, like I said, there's guns out there we say has great time to kills, but in actual situations, in real situations when they're actually fighting it out with people, it doesn't actually come out and work out the way we want it to work out. And that's kind of how this Vex Mythic class is. It's a far shot from what it was back in year 1, but hell, you know, for nostalgia purposes, I'm gonna throw that bitch on this list anyways. And number 1 on this list, right where this baby belongs, man. The last fucking work, dude. Dude, this gun, I don't know, man. We've had our ups and downs, right? You know, Last Word was super dominating, and then it got kind of hit in the mouth, and all of a sudden now it's just like it either works for you and it works great, or it doesn't work for you at all. Me, I'm telling you, it's like it's random. I don't know. Some days Last Word to me, we clicking, we're doing great. Other days I'm looking at it and I'm like, what did I do to you? What went wrong between us? And I don't know. That just seems to go on and on with me and Last Word. That still doesn't mean I don't have mad respect for that weapon. I love the Last fucking Word. Not only for the fact that it's the Last Word, but because it's got a time to kill of 0.53 seconds. 0.53 seconds, 2 crits, 1 body shot. Now, if you don't happen to get the 2 crits, 1 body shot, don't worry. Just body shotting people will give you a time to kill of 0.8 seconds. Oh, that's fucking nasty, man. You gotta admit, dude, that's what makes the Last Word nasty. Now, of course, there's a lot of things dealing with Last Word. It's not nearly as powerful as it was before. Phantom Bullets really plugging the shit out of it, and so that's been the really migration away from Last Word, which is why you have to see it paired a bunch with things like snipers and stuff like that, because you gotta have something that really perform well for you in that mid to long range game, because Last Word has mainly become the shotgun beatdown weapon. Well, guys, that is my top 5 fastest killing weapons here with our primaries. Now, here's the thing, man. There's other weapons out there. I'm sure some of you are probably wondering why Hawkmoon isn't on here. Hawkmoon is good, and you know, other weapons, hand cannons in that archetype are really good too, but they're all RNG based. They're all based off of if you land that lucky shot, that luck in the chamber shot, or holding aces. And so I don't really want to throw that on the list simply for that reason. With the exception of Salak, I'd mainly just put that on there simply for the fact that it's ease of use, man, while still retaining a good time to kill. Yes, it is a little more than what Jade Rabbit has or Chaos Dogma, but either way it goes, it's a great weapon for anyone to ease into, and it performs extremely well in all engagements, man. Well, fellas, thank you so much for coming and watching this video, and as always, slap that like button like your mama told you right.